Today on the Cardinal Sports Network, your Lawrence Cardinals will be taking on the Princeton Little Tigers in varsity field hockey. Starting in goal for the Cardinals will be Tess Adolph, and at the other end of the field, Emily Suttmeyer will be manning the goal for the Little Tigers. Cardinals put the ball in play, dropping it well back. That pass deflected, but Cardinals managed to recover. Now, pass up the near sideline by the Cardinals. That's going to be turned over to the Little Tigers. Cardinals recover the ball. Now moving it back over towards the near sideline. Pass up the line. And that's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Princeton. It'll be Cardinals ball. Margolis puts the ball in play for the Cardinals. And that's going to turn the ball back over to Princeton. Princeton with a big hit up the field. That's going to go right across the end line, turning the ball back over to the Cardinals.
Get it out of here, Ryan.
Riley Evans setting up for the hit.
Good job, get it out of here. Nice shot, Ryan.
And she pounds it right up the middle. Cardinals on the move. That gets taken away by Princeton. Cardinals recover quickly. Now sending it up the far sideline. Now Rodeville passes forward. That one not really to anyone, and that's going to be hit out of bounds by Princeton. Cardinal ball.
How are you? Good, good. No, I know.
Cardinals put the ball back into play in the corner. It's going to be knocked over the end line. And that's going to be Princeton ball, I believe. Let's see what they do. No, that's going to be Cardinal ball. Margolis puts it back into play. Rodeville can't hang on to it. Princeton ball. Princeton really sends it down the field. Stopped by Evans. Evans under heavy pressure. She gets the pass off anyway. Cardinal ball. Sanella puts it into play. That one's turned around by Princeton.
Defense, guys, defense. Beautiful.
There's a stop by the Cardinals. And Cardinals move it over towards the near side of the field. Colazzo fires it up the sideline. That one gets to Eisenbach. Eisenbach overwhelmed by numbers. But she doesn't give up and recovers the ball. That pass goes to Princeton. Now Princeton advancing up the middle. Stopped by the Cardinals. Cardinals pass that one back up toward the middle. And now it's Rodeville on a drive up the middle. Shot on goal. That one goes a little wide.
All right, Lawrence, keep it right down there.
They're saying last touch by Princeton. It would be Cardinals ball. Well, the call just got changed. Now it's going to be Princeton ball. Princeton puts the ball into play. It's going to go across the sideline and turn the ball back over to the Cardinals.
had the soccer game against Lawrence. And,
Margolis ready to put it into play. She'll pass that one forward. It's knocked back out by Princeton. So she'll do it again. This time she'll drop it back. Ball's fired forward. Turned over to Princeton. Princeton with a drive up the side. Princeton advancing towards the Cardinal goal, finally stopped by the Cardinals. But it's going to be Princeton ball. Princeton back in action with it. Another call against the Cardinals. It's going to be a corner hit for Princeton. Princeton with the corner hit. Shot on goal. And that one's whistled to a stop. It's going to be Cardinals ball. Adolph was ready to make a diving save there despite the whistle. Now Princeton with a big hit from the side. That one gets through. Kicked away by Adolph. Princeton's still on it. But that whistle's going to give the ball back to the Cardinals. Cardinals hit is stopped by Princeton. Princeton once more looking to drive in towards the goal. Shot on goal, that one's wide. Cardinal ball.
all right, Lawrence, can you keep going?
Evans ready to put it back into play. Evans will pass it off to the far side of the field. Now Princeton headed the other way with the ball. In towards the goal, but it's going to be rejected by the Cardinals. Princeton once more across towards the goal. Now that's going to be a call against the Cardinals. Going to be another corner hit for Princeton. Princeton with the corner hit. Back and cross in front of the goal, kicked away by Adolph. Kept in bounds by Princeton, and Lawrence will take advantage of that, passing it up the line. Now cross in towards center. And Rodeville gets past the defender, going right up the middle towards the goal. Shot on goal, that one's kicked away by Sutmeyer. And that's going to be a corner hit for the Cardinals.
All right, Lawrence, make it count. Come on.
Sanella heading over toward the corner to take the hit. Sanella puts it into play. Big hit and no goal.
Nice try, Payne. Keep it up.
Princeton puts the ball back into play. Cardinals right there to stop it. It's going to be Cardinals ball. Good effort there by Collazo. Yeah, Cardinals put the ball back into play, but that was going to roll over the end line. Princeton ball. Princeton puts it into play. Advance it on the near side of the field. Cardinals there to stop it. Cardinals turn it around. Rodderville breaks through. Shot on goal. That one's kicked away by Sutmeyer. Cardinals recover the ball. Margolis passes it over to Sinella. Sinella pushes it down the line. That call is going to go against the Cardinals. Burns was there, but it popped up in the air, so it's going to be Princeton ball. Princeton sends it down the sideline, stopped immediately by the Cardinals, but Princeton will take it away. That pass goes out of bounds, Cardinals ball. Sinella puts the ball into play, dropping it well back. Now it's going to be Princeton ball. Cardinals take the ball away. That pass up the middle. Cardinals with the hit right toward the goal. No, that one goes just right of goal. Princeton ball. Less than 4 minutes left in this first quarter, and both teams are scoreless, as this appears to be a very evenly matched pair of teams. Now Cardinals with the stop. It was Durling who sent it over toward Eisenbach. Eisenbach plays it over toward Sinella, but there's a call on the play. And Margolis is going to take the hit for the Cardinals. Margolis fires it forward. Rodderville in the corner. She'll cross it in front of the goal. Cardinals unable to get a shot off, and it's Princeton with the ball. Princeton with a missed hit there, but they recover. Now Princeton advancing on the near side of the field. Cardinals there to stop. Princeton prevails. That one gets away. Cardinals there to take advantage of it. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by Princeton. Cardinal, no, they're saying last touch by Cardinals. It's going to be Princeton ball. Princeton puts it into play. Princeton angling over towards the goal. Out in front of the goal. Play is broken up by the Cardinals, and Whistle's going to give the ball to the Cardinals. Coming up on the 2-minute mark for this quarter, or this period. And Evans sends that over to the far side of the field. Now Cardinals working the far side of the field. Princeton gets a hold of it. Cardinals recover the ball. Princeton once again with the ball. Princeton passes it down the far side of the field. Princeton ball. Princeton puts it back in motion. Stopped by the Cardinals, but it's going to be Princeton ball. Princeton back in motion. They'll cross it towards center. That one rolls past center. Back over towards center it goes. That pass stopped by the Cardinals. Princeton ball. Nope, Cardinals ball, my mistake. Big hit there by Margolis. And Rodderville going right up the middle again. That was going to be kicked away by Sutmeyer. It's going to be Cardinals ball.
Good teamwork, guys. Keep it up.
40 seconds.
Cardinals back in motion. It's Margolis on the near side. And that's going to turn the ball over to Princeton. Princeton right away moving it up the middle. Cardinals with the stop. Cardinals ball. Evans with the hit. And there's the buzzer to end the first period. So after one very exciting period, your score remains Lawrence 0, Princeton 0. Stay tuned for more exciting varsity field hockey action here on LTPS TV.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
And welcome to the start of the second quarter of this girls varsity field hockey game. Lawrence taking on Princeton. Lawrence will drop the ball back to get action rolling. That pass went nowhere, stopped by Princeton, and Princeton advancing on the Cardinal goal. Cardinal defense right there to block them. Princeton maintains the ball now. Now ball taken away by Riley Evans. She sends the ball up the middle, but it's going to be picked off by Princeton. And now it's a steal by Catroci on the far side. That one's going to be Princeton ball. Still scoreless after one quarter of play. Princeton with a big hit forward. And that call is going to go against the Cardinals. It's going to be a corner hit for Princeton. Princeton puts the ball back into play, pass out to the center. Shot on goal goes wide. It's going to be Cardinal ball. Cardinals put the ball back into play, but it's stopped by Princeton. Princeton working their way toward the goal. Now that one gets away, and it's the Cardinals coming the other direction with it. Princeton gets to it first, though. Now Princeton turning it around, heading the other direction. Rolling in front of the goal. And whistle against Princeton. It'll be Cardinals ball. Evans with the hit. Now Cardinals moving it up the near side of the field. Pass over towards center. And Rodeville in front of the goal, can't put it in.
All right, there we go. Yes, thank you.
And there's going to be a call against Princeton for that push.
All right.
And a card issued.
Good call. All right, Lawrence, it's camouflage right here. Let's go.
Going to bring up a corner hit for the Cardinals. Peyton Valentino setting up for the corner hit. Valentino pushes it out. Pass in towards the middle. Princeton able to clear the ball. They'll send it over toward the far sideline. And now it's Princeton advancing unopposed up the far sideline. There's a hit up the field. Princeton ball. Now Princeton back in action. Evans with the stop. Ball's going to be taken away by Princeton. Princeton ball. Now Princeton back in motion. Drop the ball back. Lawrence coverage there to try and break that up, and Lawrence will. Now Eisen back up the middle with the ball. It's turned over to Princeton. Princeton back on the attack. Shot towards the goal. That one does not find score. Now Valentino heading over towards the far side of the field with the ball. So try and fire it up the sideline. Manages to reach Catroci. Catroci under pressure from both sides, and Princeton will take the ball away. Princeton angling in towards the Cardinal goal. Cardinal defense up to the challenge. Now Eisenbach sends it forward. Rodeville trying to get past defenders, but it's going to be taken away. Stopped by Cardinals. That was Margolis with the stop. She takes the ball down towards the corner. Rodeville crosses back to Margolis. Princeton tries to clear it. Cardinals there to bring it back. Sinella sends it over toward the corner, and Burns runs over to try and take command, but Princeton will get the call and send the ball back. Princeton with the ball.
Good job, Izzy. Keep it up.
It's going to be Cardinals ball. Cardinals back in action. Rodeville heading in towards the goal. That one rolls over the end line. It's going to be Princeton ball.
Drive alive, Lawrence. Keep going.
Princeton lofts it up the middle. Now working it over towards the near side of the field, back in towards center. Cardinals there to tie up the play. Derling able to halt the advance, but it's going to be Princeton ball. Now Princeton working their way towards the goal. Princeton with the cross. And that call goes against Princeton. It'll be a Cardinal ball. Evans with the hit over towards the far side of the field. Catroci crosses it to center. Now Cardinals fired up the middle. And Rodeville out in front of the goal. Good diving kick save there by Sutmeyer. Keep that one out of the net. Looked like Rodeville had her beat, but she managed to reach out and stop that one with her foot. Sinella ready to put the ball into play for the Cardinals. That pass grabbed by Princeton. And now it's Princeton working up the near side of the field. Over towards center. Whistle on the play. That's going to be Cardinals ball, I believe. Yep. And Cardinals launch it up the field, but Princeton ready to bring it right back. Cardinals with the stop. Now Cardinals move it over to the far sideline. Pass up the line, doesn't get very far. It's going to be turned around by Princeton. Cardinals stop. And now Cardinals move the action over towards the near side of the field. Galazzo sent it forward. Rodaville in the corner with the cross. That call goes against Princeton. It'll be a Cardinal ball. Rodaville setting up for the corner hit. Rodaville puts it into play. Pass back to Rodaville. She crosses it, and it's going to be cleared by Princeton. It's headed across the side. No, it does not get across the sideline. Cardinals keep it inbounds. Cardinals fire it over toward the goal. Now, shot on goal. Once again rejected. Cardinals with another shot on goal, and this time Rodaville puts it in to give the Cardinals the early lead in this game, 1-0 over Princeton.
Way to go, Lawrence. Keep it up.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
Follow up that rebound.
Now, Princeton drops the ball back. They advance it. Turned around by the Cardinals. Princeton recovers. That call goes against the Cardinals. It'll be Princeton ball. Princeton back in motion. That pass gets a lot of distance. This time it's going to be a call against Princeton. Cardinal ball. Valentino sends it over towards the far sideline. Cardinals advance it up the sideline. Princeton recovers the ball, but taken away by the Cardinals. Now Cardinals advancing the ball across the midfield line. Princeton's going to take it away, move the action over towards the near sideline. Cardinals recover the ball. Rodaville passes it over to Durling. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't Durling, that was Murphy. Back to Rodaville. Rodaville out in front of the goal. Shot on goal is stopped. Good play there by Sutmeyer. It's going to be Cardinal ball on the near sideline. We're going to take a quick break and be right back.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
All right, Lawrence. Teamwork right here.
Sanella ready to put it back into play for the Cardinals. There's the pass. That was stopped by Princeton. Rodaville pries it away. Princeton recovers, but Sanella sends it back inside. This time the call goes against Princeton. It'll be Cardinal ball. Sanella ready to put it into play. She'll drop it back to Margolis. Margolis working her way down the near sideline. A little stumble there, but she recovers. And gets the pass back off to Sanella. Sanella with the cross. That's stopped by Princeton. Princeton tries to send it away, but Margolis there to stop the forward motion. Now Princeton gets free. And Margolis gets a hit on it, but I believe there's a foot fault called against the Cardinals prior to the hit. It's going to be Princeton ball.
Keep it up. All right, Lawrence, keep the drive alive.
Princeton setting up for the hit, and there it is. Cardinals send the ball right back into Princeton territory. Princeton ready to reject it, though. Princeton ball. Good drive up the middle. Cardinals with the stop. Turn it around. Now Collazo on the near side with the ball. She'll move it over towards center and drop it back. Cardinals play it back over towards the near side of the field. That one gets out of bounds. Princeton will put it into play. Stopped by Durling. Princeton will prevail. Stopped this time by Margolis. That ball's going to roll across the sideline. It'll be Princeton ball. Coming up on the final minute of this first half, Princeton puts the ball back into play. Now working it up the middle. Stopped by Evans. Evans plays it over to Sinella. Sinella continues it toward Collazo. Collazo sends it up the sideline. That's going to be rejected by Princeton. Now Princeton once more on the attack. Ball stolen by Durling. Out of bounds on the Cardinals. It'll be Princeton ball. Princeton back in motion. They'll send the ball way down into the corner. That's going to be Cardinals ball. Evans ready to take the hit. And Evans crosses it towards center. Now over to Murphy. Murphy with a wall of defenders in front of her, but it doesn't matter as there goes the buzzer for the end of the first half. So we'll go into the break with the Lawrence Cardinals leading with a score of 1-0 over Princeton.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
Princeton will have the ball for the start of the second half. They drop the ball back and now advance it up the middle. Cardinals there to return it. Princeton stops the ball. It's going to be Cardinal ball. Oop, oh, miss there, but it's going to be Princeton ball. Princeton stopped immediately by the Cardinals. Princeton recovers. Now Princeton moving up the middle of the field. Princeton gets past a couple defenders. Finally, Collazo takes it away. It's going to be Cardinals ball. Cardinals put the ball into play. Now Cardinals advancing up the middle. Going to be overrun by Princeton. Princeton clears the ball toward the far sideline. Cardinals recover. Margolis is able to get there in time, but call goes against the Cardinals. It's Princeton ball. Now Princeton working the far sideline. They'll move into Cardinal territory. They're stopped by Evans. Now Princeton breaks through. Valentino with the stop. She'll move the action over towards the near sideline. And that one goes out of bounds. It'll be Princeton ball. Now Princeton back in action. They'll send it forward on the near side of the field. Here's a cross. Ball out in front of the goal. Princeton drops back a little bit now. Shot on goal. That one's stopped by Adolph. And it's going to be a corner hit for Princeton. Princeton puts the ball back into play. Shot on goal. That one stopped. I believe that was Sinello who got the stop on it. Princeton once more coming in. That was Margolis, and she takes a shot to the head there with the ball. Hopefully she's okay. Referee's going to stop the clock while Margolis heads over towards the sideline, so we'll take a quick break and be right back.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
Now Princeton setting up for the corner hit. Ball's put into play. Shot on goal. And that one's stopped by Adolph. Princeton recovers the ball. It's going to be, well, I thought it was taken away. That's going to be called against the Cardinals. It'll be another corner hit for Princeton. So far, the Cardinals have stopped the first two of these corner hits. Now, Princeton back in motion. Shot on goal. And a couple of stops there by Adolph. This time the call goes against Princeton. Cardinals will move the ball away from the danger zone. Pass out to Catroci. Catroci working it up the near sideline. That pass goes awry. Believes it was intended for Naomi Lee, but it didn't work out. Now Princeton getting close to the Cardinal goal. Shot on goal, stopped by Adolph. That was called to a stop before the ball bounced into the goal. So it's going to be Cardinals ball. Valentino with the hit. Princeton gets a hold of it. Princeton driving back in towards the Cardinal goal. Going to be taken away by Collazo. Collazo heading over towards the far corner. She'll pass it up the sideline. That's stopped by Princeton. And it's going to be Princeton ball. Princeton back in motion. Cardinals with the stop. And it's going to be Cardinals ball. Valentino puts it into play. Hit up the middle. Princeton comes away with the ball. Stopped by Valentino. Valentino fires it up field again. This time reaches Catroci. Catroci sends it up the line, but it's going to roll out of bounds, turning the ball back over to Princeton. Princeton with a hit. Princeton prevails. Whistle on the play is going to turn the ball over to the Cardinals. Evans setting up for the hit. She'll put it into play and send it up the field. A lot of distance on that one, but Princeton gets a hold of it. Princeton ball. Big hit by Princeton, sending it the other direction. Shot on goal, and a dive by Adolph there to get that one. Unnecessary as it goes wide of goal. Cardinal ball. Valentino setting up for the hit. Princeton gets it, but it's taken away by the Cardinals. Now Princeton recovers the ball. Cardinal ball. Valentino with the hit. Sends it across the field. Princeton fires it up the far sideline. Princeton puts the ball back into play. Yeah, cross it over towards center, and that's going to be taken away by Rodeville. Cardinals ball. Sanella sends it over towards the near side of the field. It's fired back down the near sideline. And Princeton prevails. Move it over to center. And now over towards the far side of the field. Derling there to challenge. Finally stopped by Margolis. Now Evans trying to clear the ball. That's going to be taken away by Princeton. Evans prevails, but Princeton recovers the ball quickly. And it's going to be another corner hit for Princeton. Princeton puts the ball into play. Shot on goal. And it's a goal for Princeton as Lila Casto puts it in the net to tie it up at 1 goal apiece.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
Well, Tess Adolph has been doing a fabulous job in goal, but the continual pressure by Princeton, eventually one of them had to go in, and we're tied up at 1 goal apiece. Now Cardinals with the ball. It's going to be taken away by Princeton. Princeton on the drive toward the goal. Going to be turned around by Valentino. Valentino moving towards the near sideline. She's under pressure, looking for some help. And she gets the ball by 2 defenders right there. Now it's Cotroci moving it up the line. Princeton takes it away, but it's going to be stopped by Rodeville. Once more turned over to Princeton. Now Princeton heading up the middle. That's going to be stopped by Margolis. Margolis takes it over towards the far side of the field, sends it up the sideline. Now Eisenbach working the far side of the field. That pass gets through to Rodeville. Rodeville heading over towards the goal. Pass out front. Oh, and that one gets past Cotroci. Ball's going to be cleared by Princeton, heading over towards the sideline, and, well, that looked out of bounds to me. The ref had a closer view. So Princeton plays on. Princeton advancing towards the near corner. Now, cross towards the goal, and that one's kicked away by Adolph. That call goes against the Cardinals. It's going to be another corner hit for Princeton. So far, Princeton has been unable to score on these corner hits, although they've had plenty of them. Now they put the ball into play. Pass over towards the side. That one gets away, and it's going to be called against Princeton. Cardinal ball. Valentino with the hit. Now Cardinals moving it up the middle of the field. It's Rodeville on a break. Shot on goal, and that one's going to go wide of goal. It'll be Princeton ball. Princeton puts the ball back into play. Cardinals there to challenge. Princeton ball. Clock continuing to count down as now Princeton on a charge towards the Cardinal goal. Cardinals reject the drive. Princeton recovers, now it's taken away by the Cardinals. Princeton recovers the ball, it's tipped away by Margolis. And it's going to be Cardinals ball. Evans setting up for the hit. That bounces right over towards Princeton, and Princeton once more on the attack. That shot goes wide of goal. Less than 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and we're all tied up here at the Cardinals' nest as Lawrence is taking on Princeton in varsity field hockey. Valentino with the hit. Princeton brings it right back. Going to be stopped by Margolis. Princeton tries once more. Margolis hanging tough in the middle there. They're having trouble getting past her. But Princeton recovers the ball once more. Slow roller. And whistle on the play. Looks like Murphy may have gotten chopped in the shins there as she was dancing around a bit. And it's going to be yet another corner hit for Princeton. 40 seconds left on the clock before the end of this period. Princeton puts the ball into play. Shot on goal deflected by the Cardinals. Princeton recovers the ball. And now it's going to be Cardinals ball. Margolis with the hit. The ball heads over towards the near sideline. Petroci got there in time to keep it in Cardinal possession. Now Sanella sends it up the middle, but there's a buzzer to end the third period. So after 45 minutes of play, score is Lawrence Cardinals 1, Princeton 1. Stay tuned for the fourth and hopefully final quarter of this game.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
For those of you just tuning in, it's been a very close, low-scoring game as Lawrence taking on Princeton in varsity field hockey. Second period, Lawrence took the lead on a goal by Carolyn Rodeville. And then in the third quarter, Princeton answered back with a goal by Lila Casto. Fourth and final quarter here. Cardinals trying to move the ball back into Princeton territory. That goes out of bounds. Last touch by Princeton. Cardinals ball. There's the hit by Margolis. Princeton gets to the ball first. They'll turn it around and send it over towards the far sideline. It's going to be Cardinals ball. Cardinals put it back into play. Pass over towards center. And Cardinals get the ball. Ball's taken away by Princeton. Margolis takes the ball away. pass is anticipated, and Murphy has to struggle to get a hold of it. Princeton with the cross. Now working over towards center, driving in towards the goal. Shot on goal is very wide.
Throw it deep, keep it up, guys.
It's going to be Cardinals ball. At this point, a single goal could decide the game. Evans with the hit. That one goes over towards the far side of the field. Ball's taken away by Princeton. Stopped by Valentino. Princeton recovers.
Good job, Tess.
And Adolph keeps that one out of the net. Going to be Princeton ball. Princeton puts it back into play, pass towards the middle. That one's going to be turned around by Margolis. And the ball heads over towards the far sideline. Eisenbach can't get there in time. It's going to be Princeton ball.
Get it out of there! That's so Princeton!
Princeton sends it down the line towards the far corner. Now they'll drop it back. Princeton once more trying to get into scoring position. That attempt rejected. They'll drop it back and try again. Now up the middle. Princeton's shot is stopped by Valentino, who takes it over to the near corner and fires it up the sideline. That goes out of bounds. It'll be Princeton ball. Princeton puts the ball back into play. Sanella comes away with it. She sends it forward on the near side of the field.
Go ahead, guys, help her out. Teamwork.
Cardinals ball.
All right, Bella. All right, Izzy.
Margolis setting up. Here's a big hit by Margolis. That ricochets off one of the Princeton players. Ball is taken away by the Cardinals. I believe that was Burns with the steal. Now Catroci trying to get through.
All right, turn around. 6 down, right here.
That call goes against the Cardinals, so it'll be Princeton ball.
Turn around, Ed, turn around.
Princeton drops it back. Now passing it down the near sideline. Princeton gets through. There's a stop by Valentino. She sends it over toward the middle, but it's picked off by Princeton, who fire it up the center.
Good job, Riley. Get it out of there. Get it out of there.
Cardinals throwing up obstacles to the Princeton drive. Princeton pushes it through. Out in front of the goal. And that shot, awful close. Just barely went to the outside of the left post. But it's still no goal. Cardinals ball.
Get it out of right.
Evans' hit didn't go very far, and Princeton quick to pounce on it. Adolph in there swatting away at it.
Way to go, Tess.
That shot goes out of bounds, and it'll be Cardinals ball. Take that back. It's going to be Princeton ball.
All right, Mark, 6 down, block.
Princeton tries to push it through. Cardinals there to reject it. And it's the Cardinals coming the other direction with the ball. 2-on-1, and the Princeton team comes back with it. That pass gets past one of their players and over the end line. This time it will be Cardinals ball. Timeout called, so we'll take a quick break and be right back with more varsity field hockey action from Cardinal Field.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
You got this. Let's go.
Now both teams back out onto the field to resume the play. Cardinals have been on defense an awful lot of this game. If they want to win this one, they need to start going on offense. Valentino with a hit. That one gets through everyone. Princeton running to get to it before Lawrence can get there. That's going to be Princeton ball. Princeton hit doesn't get very far. And now Cardinals on the offense. Eisenbach on the far side of the field with it. Could use a little help. Princeton takes it away. Challenging is Collazo. Princeton manages to break free, and now they'll push it back into Cardinal territory. Stopped by Darling, didn't hold them up for long.
Get out of there.
Now it's going to be taken away by Margolis. Out of bounds, that'll be Cardinals ball. Cardinals push it up the line. Princeton returning it. And that'll be Cardinal ball. Now it's going to be
Defense.
Princeton ball. Princeton with a big hit forward. That's stopped immediately, but it's Princeton ball again. Now another hit by Princeton. This one gets a lot closer to the goal. Heading over towards the near corner. Cardinals there to break up the play. Princeton recovers and goes back on the attack. Naomi Lee with the clear.
Nice shot, Mia.
Pushed up the line by Catroci. And it's Rodeville on a breakaway. That ball rolls across the end line. It's going to be, it's going to be Lawrence ball. Catroci retrieves the ball. And Lawrence will set up to resume play. Pass up the middle by Margolis, but a whistle on the play. The ball goes out of bounds. Valentino will put it back into play for the Cardinals. There's a good hit by Valentino. Makes a lot of ground, but Princeton gets to it first. Now that hit by Princeton stopped by Sinella. Sinella under heavy pressure. She manages to get the pass off to Collazo. Collazo plays it forward to Murphy. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Eisenbach now. Princeton comes away with the ball. Princeton driving right up the middle. Finally stopped by the Cardinals. As Valentino plays it forward. Now Catroci with a pass off to Rodeville, and Rodeville going up the middle again. Whistle on the play. It's going to be a foul called against the Princeton team. And it appears Rodeville is going to take the penalty shot. .4:30 on the clock. Rodeville, and it's good. Cardinals regain the lead 2-1 over Princeton on a penalty shot by Rodeville.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
So with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, the Princeton team, which had been pretty much dominant in this game, find themselves trailing 2-1 as time ticks away. Princeton moving the ball up the middle. Whistle on the play. That's going to turn the ball over to the Cardinals. Valentino setting up for the hit. There's the hit. Rodeville challenging, but Princeton maintaining the ball. Now it's going to be Princeton ball. Sinella stopped that drive before it got started, but it's going to be Princeton ball once more. Now Princeton fires the ball forward. This time it'll be Cardinals ball. Margolis with the hit. That one goes very long, but Princeton gets to it first. Eisen back there to challenge. It's going to be Cardinals ball on the far sideline. Sinella will be putting it into play. She passes it to Rodeville. Rodeville sends it over to the sideline. And now Cardinals play it over towards the goal, but that's going to roll over the end line, turning the ball over to Princeton. Princeton lofts the ball. That one stays inbounds. Cardinals send it the other direction. And now it's a breakaway by Princeton as they head down the middle. Past one defender. Now being forced wide by the Cardinals. That's going to be Princeton ball.
Good defense, Izzy.
Princeton setting up to put the ball back into play. There it goes, and well, that got called against the Cardinals. It looked like she just tripped and fell, but I guess the ref saw something I didn't. So now Princeton put the ball back into play. Going to be stopped by the Cardinals. Princeton still in scoring position. And Evans manages to clear it across the sideline. It's going to be Princeton ball. Princeton puts the ball back into play. That shot deflected. And the ball's taken away by the Cardinals. Now Cardinals trying to advance it up the near sideline. It's knocked out of bounds by Princeton. It'll be Cardinal ball. Valentino is going to be putting the ball back into play for the Cardinals. Big hit by Valentino. That one gets through and is going the length of the field here. So it rolls down towards the end line and out of bounds. Nobody could get to that one. Coming up on 30 seconds left in the game, it's going to be Princeton ball. Little confusion there. That ate up some more time for Princeton. Princeton lofts the ball. Princeton has the numbers. Slice there by Princeton. It's sent back out by the Cardinals. And now Sanella breaks up the play, moving the ball out of the Cardinal area. And there's the buzzer for the end of the game as your Lawrence Cardinals are victorious with a score of 2-1 over the Princeton Little Tigers. Thank you to Lila Wissaksano for working camera for this event, and thank you all for watching. Be sure to tune in again next time for more exciting Cardinal sports action on LTPS TV.